Okay, so we're back on embrace-autism.com, Dr. Natalie Engelbrecht's website, where she shares a lot of information and stuff. And right now, I'm going to be looking at the psychometric tests. So we're going to take the AQ-10. Oh, go away. You already got that. So this is the short form, or the too long didn't read version of the AQ. This is the 10 questions. It's pretty quick, really basic. It takes 2 to 5 minutes. It's not necessarily great on clarity as far as what Dr. Engelbrecht has created, but however, she does has appropriate and respectful wording, and the testing accuracy is really good. So let's take that test. So I often notice small sounds when others do not. Definitely agree. I'll find stuff in like some of my favorite records I will listen to, and I was like, I'll hear like stuff that is like, oh, that's interesting, or it's like, oh, that's annoying. Like for instance, so just to give you an example, my wife and I were coming home, and I noticed that there was a song off of the remixed version of the first Dio album, Holy Diver, and the song Straight Through the Heart. I listened to it, and I was like, wait a minute, something's changed on this remix. And I went back and I listened, and I noticed that they removed the room microphones off of the drum kit. And the way that they recorded it, they basically put their drummer inside a plywood enclosure, which really contributed to the sound as far as like making it sound like playing with a lot of wood. I guess that's the best way to describe it. But on the remix album that came out not too long ago, they got rid of the drum mic, or the room mics on the drums, so that kind of is missing off of that album. When reading a story, I find it difficult to work out the character's intentions. That I will agree with, unless the author's really good. I find it easier to read between the lines when someone is talking to me. No, I don't find that easy. I don't do subtext, just state what you want. Usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than small details. Definitely disagree. I'm detail-oriented. I know how to tell if someone is listening to me. I know how to tell if someone listening to me is getting bored. That I'm going to disagree with. I mean, I can at sometimes, but yeah. Find it easy to do more than one thing at once. I disagree with that. I prefer to focus on one thing at a time. Find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling just by looking at their face. Definitely disagree. I don't really do emotions very well, or reading emotions. If there's an interruption, I can switch back to what I was doing very quickly. Disagree. It takes me time to get back into it. Like to collect information about categories of things. Very true. I have all kinds of useless trivia in my head. Find it difficult to work out people's intentions. Definitely agree. Like I said, just get to the point. I don't need to be here. I don't care for hints. So let's go for the score. What does it mean? Total 10 out of 10. What does my score mean? AQ-10 doesn't offer a lot of insight as it outputs just a single score. According to the test, scores of 6 or higher are indicative of autism or a significant number of autistic traits. No single test is conclusive, blah, blah, blah. AQ-10 is not all comprehensive, but higher scores may warrant further investigation. So I got 10 out of 10. 100. All right. Go big or go home. So the recommended next steps are, it's a good way to see what if you think that you may be autistic or you know someone who's autistic, you can send the test to them, or you can just, if that might help them or not. But which I don't necessarily recommend, because a lot of people will kind of find it to be insulting, or they may feel insecure about how it is that you address it. But if it's somebody who states that they think that they might be autistic, if they haven't already done this test already, you can certainly recommend it to them. So hopefully you found this video interesting. If not, then you probably already bailed out of it by now. So, there's a couple of other videos that I put up, which I put into the playlist. So if you guys have any other further questions, and then you can go from there. But like I said, embraceautism.com. It's a really good website. Has a lot of good information available. A lot of articles, and the tests are Like, for instance, the AQ and the RADS-R are both used by psychologists and psychiatrists to help clinically diagnose them, or help to diagnose autistic patients. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are the be-all, end-all way of diagnosing autism, but they can certainly help, and they also certainly can be useful in helping you get the going forward to starting up a conversation with a psychiatrist or psychologist if you think that you may be autistic, and that way you can tell them that you may want to get started with a psychological evaluation or a psychological assessment to see where it is that you lie, if you think you may be having some autism spectrum disorder traits. So hopefully you liked the video. If you did, great. If you didn't, that's cool too. But this is stuff I'm just putting out there for information, so hopefully you may find something useful. So hopefully you enjoyed. Take care.